Afternoon, guys. It's Joe, All Leeds TV. You'll be sick of the sight of me now. That's two in a day now. But us at All Leeds TV want to keep us finger on the pulse and get instant news out there if we can. And like I say, we'd heard a few rumblings earlier on in the day that something was going to come out. So in preparation for that, we discussed what we'd like to do when eventually the news hit. So here I am, just giving my thoughts on the recent interview by RADZ with the BBC and Phil Hay. So I guess you're all digesting it, all taking in. Everyone's making their own conclusions. Twitter's going wild. Everyone's got something to say on the matter. So yeah, I think just starting at the article itself, I don't understand the timing of it. Especially on the eve of our first fixture in the Championship, so much buzz at the moment around the club. Even if we go back to the early parts a couple of months ago, sorry, when we had the Josh Warrington fight, you had Bremner Square, you've got Bielsa, you've got all the optimism, season tickets are up, everything's going well. So for me, there wasn't a need for this article. Even fans like myself, and I know a lot of people had the same opinion on Twitter, from what I see is that, you know what, the Vieira deal was done for footballing reasons. It wasn't part of Bielsa's plans. Why not leave it at that? But I think, it's now thrown it all up in the air, and we realise, well, actually, this was done to fund the Bamford deal. So, have we got money? It all seems a little bit strange. But I mean, I just don't. That's what it is. I mean, I just don't understand the timing of the article. It makes no sense. But it is what it is. It has come out, and he's come and said, we've had to sell Ronnie in order to bring in money. And what he also said as well. He said about Ronaldo Vieira is the only one we had a bid for. So we had to get shot. So are you actively saying there you're willing to sell players that have value? Because if we look at the squad itself, there isn't that many players really that could command good transfer fees, apart from your Saizes, your Pontus Janssens. So what you're saying there, for me, you're alerting other chairmans out there that might be interested in these sort of players. Do you know what they're saying there? They'll take a nice transfer fee for this player, maybe be able to bring two more in on less. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Don't want to set the doldrums here, but at the end of the day, that's what it smells of to me. Like, I don't understand why you need to come out and say that. Because I know someone, if they're looking at Pontus now and your chairman's come, oh, we had to sell Ronnie because he was the only one we had a bid for. Do you know what? Let's test RADZ and Leeds' resolve. Let's put in a cheeky bid. And we all know he's not in tomorrow. He's not playing. I get he's had a couple of weeks off, but are we waiting for a bid? I know that's been mentioned, so we shall see. Going back to the Ronnie sale as well. This is like conspiracy, but there's like conspiracy theory dead on here. The Ronnie deal seems a little strange. I mean, him going to Sampdoria, and it came out afterwards that it was evident that Mendes had a big part to play in Sampdoria bringing him to in Sampdoria taking him from Leeds, and it wouldn't surprise me if we see next year, if he has a good season, that he'd be in the Prem at Wolves. I genuinely think that it seems a little bit dodgy, and we know what Wolves are about lately. I mean, we've seen what happened with Afobe. The poor lad thought he was getting game time. He was made to believe he was going to be pivotal at Wolves, and then they sacked him off to Stoke to make a couple of mil profit. So it wouldn't surprise me if what they've done is, because ultimately that's it. Yeah, what I don't understand, if we're not skint as well, why is RADZ openly said both him and Bielsa have had a chat and they've said, do you know what, Vieira is probably going to be worth more money in 12 months' time. He's actually come out and said that, but yet still sold him now at a cut price. In effect, 7 million for where we're at this moment in time. He's good, but if he has a mint season, he's an England international, you're going to get more money for him. And he's actually said that. That's what I don't understand. So we haven't got much. Does that mean that these Bamford deals the Bamford deal was done on the basis that we were going to sell Ronnie. I'm sure, what I don't understand is you had bids in for Vidra. By all accounts, it was accepted. That's common knowledge. So where was that money coming from? Was that going to be funded by player sales? Were you expecting more players to leave so that you could fund Vidra's wages? I'm not too sure. There's still a lot of unanswered questions. But it just seems it seems strange, and what I don't get how. Listen, I get he's put money into the club, he's done a lot of great things for the club, but surely you're not that cash strapped when you've just had an investment from the 49ers and you're buying half of bloody Sky and BT's catalogue. You know what I mean? Every time we go on Twitter, 11 Sports has bought something new. I think they've just got the UFC as well, I heard on the Talking Shut podcast. So it's like, you've obviously got money. That's what it is for me. I think one thing that's come out as well, one comment which wasn't well received by me, and I guess a lot of yous, is the fact that he said, you know, it's not fun putting money into a business that loses money, which I totally get. But he's basically saying there that if we don't get, he said himself, if we don't get into the Prem in a couple of years, he'll leave and look to sell and someone else take on. But do we really want that? We want someone who's going to be there for the long haul, who's gonna take, you know, the rough with the smooth. And I do genuinely feel that under RADZ we will get close to the Prem. And there you go again. Look, that's what the article's done, because for me yesterday we were getting top 6, we were getting promoted. Now I'm even questioning my own thoughts in the space of, you know, reading an article for 5 minutes and digesting it. It makes you question things straight away. And that's what I just don't get the point of the article itself. It wasn't needed. But yeah, it's just it's daunting times, I guess, now. It just goes back, I keep repeating myself, but I just don't understand how you've said that Ronnie was the only one you got a bid for. So for me, that's saying if we had more bids, we might have accepted it for someone else. But unfortunately, we've had to get rid of one of our brightest talents because he's the only one we had a genuine bid for. Dodgy. The Mendes, you know, being involved in the deal itself. I know RADZ had come out before saying about copying the Wolves model. He knew agents, he knew Mendes. He name dropped these names before when he'd complained about the Wolves crack. So, you know, he obviously knows these people. Is that why we got Douglas at a cut price deal? Because Mendes was going to take Vieira there. Listen, I'm not saying that that's what it is, and it's a bit of a mad conspiracy, but football's football these days. We know what goes down. It can be dodgy, so, you know, that's just my viewpoint on it. Again, I just think it's just the timing of the article. I just don't understand it. Like, I was so pumped. I'll still be pumped in the morning. You know, if we get a result, I'll be absolutely buzzing, you know. But at the end of the day, it's just a little bit, because I still felt as well that players are going to get done, and I think we still might see a couple, but they're going to be, you know, not of the ilk that we need, in my opinion, the money that we need to spend. You know, I was here not too long ago saying we could get the Vidra Bamford deal. Why not come out and say this weeks ago, instead of telling us, you know, with this 49ers investment, you know, you're going to spend X, Y, Z, we're going to have a really good go at it, have a mint summer, you know, do the Billy Bremner Square, everything like that, get us so pumped, and then the eve of our game just go, oh, by the way, we had to sell Ronnie because, you know, we skinned, and if we didn't sell him, we won't be able to fund other deals. Because you know, all our opinion was, right, okay, yeah, you've sold Ronnie, fair enough, we understand it. Some of us are not happy, but we understand it. He's going to reinvest that money. You've just basically blew that out of the water and gone, nah. Basically, that was bought because, you know, the Bamford deal needed getting done, and I hate to come back to, like, when people go, it just breathes life into them people about the net spend crack and stuff. Oh, we've only spent 3 mil and all that stuff. Listen, we're in a much better position than we were last season. In pre-season, we've got a much better squad. It is a thin squad. You know, we're lucky really with the emergence of Click, because he can play in the foreshore position. So yeah, it is what it is. It's a bit naff, but we'll still go marching on. Have a mint evening and night, guys, and keep smiling, and I'll see you all tomorrow at Ellen Road. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.